Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. So welcome everyone to the PracticePanther session today. We're going to be discussing how our latest features are helping prepare law firms to scale in 2023. We're going to start out with some introductions. I'm Marie Burgess, VP of Product here at PracticePanther. Myself and the rest of the product team work directly with our PracticePanther customers to help improve your overall experience with new features and capabilities. And I'm excited today to co-host this webinar with Sam and share some of the exciting things that we've been up to here over the last year.
Yep, super exciting stuff. And my name's Sam Alcoby. I'm the head of sales here at PracticePanther. Similar to Marie, I've worked with thousands of law firms really to understand a lot of the pain points and how, PracticePanther can cater to those law firms and really help perfect their practice. So we're just super excited today to highlight much of what we've done this past year and also to show you the effort and really the production we want to deliver moving forward for all of our current and future clients. So again, really excited. And I think, Marie, you want to tell them what we're going to be discussing today?
Yeah, I'll talk a little bit about the agenda for today's discussion. We're going to look at some of the latest statistics on current challenges facing law firm growth today. We're going to do a deep dive into some of the recent product releases that focus on specifically addressing these growth challenges. And then we're going to end with a question and answer session. And just in terms of some details, you can use the Q&A feature of the Zoom session to enter any questions that you have throughout the session. We're going to have a dedicated time at the end of the session to answer the questions that you have all posted. So please feel free to ask throughout the session any questions, and we'll get to them at the end. So just diving in a little bit. So Thomson Reuters recently published their latest State of the U.S. Small Law Firm Survey, where they interviewed over 400 firms that range from solo practitioner firms up to firms with about 30 attorneys. And some of the top challenges they noted, probably the top challenge they noted is really law firms' challenge around spending too much time on administrative tasks. And this was really one of the highest rated items. 80% of firms surveyed defined either that as a significant or moderate challenge. And too much time on like administrative or operational tasks means less time for the ability to essentially practice law, less time to attract new clients and grow your business, and less time spending on billable work. Lack of internal efficiencies was also called out by 62% of the firms as a challenge. And while getting paid has definitely have improved over the last couple of years, still more than half the firms identify cash flow as a significant challenge. And as we sort of round out 2022 and head into 2023, all of the discussions around pending recessions, we're going to see that percentage increase again as we head back into the current state of the industry. And really getting paid promptly for work that you perform has a direct impact, obviously, on realization and cash flow.
Yeah.
So if we go to the
Marie,
sorry, go ahead.
that number being a little bit higher, that 54%,
It was.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just, before we dive into the meat and potatoes of this webinar and everything we're really excited to showcase today, I'm going to talk a little bit about, if you don't know, or if you just need a quick refresher on what PracticePanther is and what it really does to help, law firms accomplish what they need to do on a day-to-day basis. So PracticePanther is an all-in-one case management program. It's got a really sleek, modern interface. It encompasses a lot of, robust features that allow your firm really to get more done in less time. And we have a lot of the features that alleviate a lot of those pain points Marie just pointed out on the previous slide. So if you're struggling with things like admin tasks, we have features that can help automate intake easily. Or if you're, struggling with internal inefficiencies, we provide you with seamless case management and billing and things like that. And to the last point, if getting paid is a problem, PracticePanther makes that even easier by allowing you to get paid online through our built-in payment system, which of course is 100% compliant with IOLTA, ABA, and all the 50 state bar guidelines. So, just a lot of awesome stuff into PracticePanther. And again, this is only the beginning. You'll see moving on to the next slide that Marie's going to point out some of the significant features we've added to the system this past year that we're really excited to talk about as well.
Yeah, thanks, Sam. So at PracticePanther, we're constantly focused on moving the product forward to address the key challenges facing lawyers and law firms today. We are in regular contact with our customers, we listen to them, and we determine how we can use PracticePanther and technology in general to help improve efficiencies, to help look at processes that are manual today and how do we streamline them, how do we automate them, how do we help firms grow their business, grow their firm, grow their client base, how do we help improve invoicing and collections process, has a direct impact on realization. So this past year, we've added many new capabilities and enhanced many existing features of PracticePanther in a variety of areas. Just to call out a few, we've introduced several improvements around our embedded payment processing, as Sam mentioned, our Panther Payments module to really simplify that payments cycle. We've had many improvements to our originating attorney report just to add more flexibility because there's so many varying requirements from different law firms. And a number of enhancements around our leads invoicing. The demand for leads and e-billing, continues to grow and be on the rise within many clients. So we continue to add capabilities to help streamline this process, and many more. Like we're going to go kind of deeper into some of these ones that really have an impact on addressing things that are challenges for firms and helping them grow.
Exactly. Yeah, we could have, like we were talking about, Marie, we could have full hour webinars on each of these things,
For sure.
Yeah. So I'm going to talk about something that, we came out with recently. You can see here, fast tracking intake with unlimited eSignatures. So like Marie alluded to, you talk and we listen, right? So nowadays, providing your clients with an easy way to communicate, sign, and execute these documents is imperative, right? So with PracticePanther's native built-in eSignatures, you no longer need, let's say, a third-party program or to pay a third-party program to get things and documents signed. There's no need for clients to come to the office. And the beauty behind all of this is that you get an unlimited number of these e-signatures with PracticePanther. So whether you're the type of firm that maybe needs 5 signatures a month or 500 a month, we got you covered through PracticePanther's e-signature capabilities. And you can, the beauty also behind this is that you can track these documents. Have they been sent? Have they been viewed? Have they been signed? So no longer are you hearing people say, oh, I didn't see the document. I don't know what you're talking about. Right within the system, you can see that they viewed it or signed it or that it's been sent. And we keep everything really in a centralized location. So it's very simple for the firm owners and people within the firm, admins, receptionists, everyone to really navigate all of this and localize it all within the program. So this has been a huge feature. I know Marie and her team worked really hard on getting feedback on this and implementing it the way it needed to be done. And we've had some amazing adoption and incredible feedback, as I'm sure Marie can speak to as well.
Yeah, we have had, like, as soon as we released the e-signature capability, we had like thousands of firms basically pick this up and start utilizing it, which has been great. As a result, though, we've had a lot of adoption, so we get a lot of feedback, additional things people want to see. How can we improve it? Just adding more flexibility. And because of that, it's really one of the major initiatives that we have planned for 2023. If we start thinking about what we're planning in terms of roadmap, so like just adding more flexibility when editing any signature request, being able to like incorporate more of our document templates, which is a huge time saver in PracticePanther, incorporating them into eSignature. So a number of direct feedback items that we've had from firms that are using eSignature and kind of taking it to the next level.
Exactly. And, on the next slide, you're going to see something similar to these requests that we've gotten over the past couple years. And even more recently is something around, centralizing text message communication within the program. And that's what we did this year. So I want you to raise your hand if you text in general. Okay. Now I can't see the audience, but I bet everyone has or should have their hand up, right? So I just want to point out, I think I read something a couple years back that text messages have about a 97% open rate. Now that's probably much higher than email and definitely more often replied to. So Utilizing PracticePanther's texting solution, you can now send and receive messages with clients directly into the program. We give you a really clean audit trail and ability to download and print entire conversations. You also get a firm-wide number, so you don't need to tie up your office line or give clients your cell phone number. And if getting an invoice paid has been a problem or proves to be a problem for you via email for whatever reason, you can now easily text them a link to their invoice through this feature. And again, just another really incredible feature that we've heard amazing feedback from. And to Marie's point again, we're getting feedback on it and really excited to implement the new things we have down the road when it comes to this feature as well. All right, and then on the next slide, we're going to talk a little bit about this matters grid that we refreshed this year. So a lot of what we talked about so far, and most of this webinar is talking about things we've implemented, new features, but I want to also point out that we heavily evaluate current ones, and we take a really high level overview of our system almost every day just to see what we can improve on. And in doing so, we released a really fresh new matters grid this year. And again, just getting awesome feedback. I think the most exciting part about this is that it's just a much faster user experience. We're also giving you the flexibility to dive deep into the different filters and slice and dice the different search criteria you're trying to get to. For example, you can do multi-select state filtering now. So using different filters, again, to just dive into what you want. And I know, Marie, you have some information or some knowledge really around the opt-in for the user adoption around this as well.
Yeah, so this is actually one of the first times we've added the ability to sort of opt in to something that we were changing. Like we know, most PracticePanther users are spending a ton of time on the matters grid, right? Searching for their matters, being able to drill down, look at specific details, looking at them by tag, by status. So changing that grid and giving different functionality, improved functionality still could be seen as a disruptor, right? So it's something new that is different for people. So from a change management perspective, we have the old grid available. You can opt into the new grid, start utilizing it, but it just allows for an easier transition. And it's just something that we're going to look at across the board when we look at introducing new features, new functionality. So again, you can control when that's going to be utilized. You can opt in, and just makes that much more seamless.
Exactly. A little taste of hopefully things to come.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly. So jumping into the next item is really, we talked about it a little bit already, even in this webinar, is some of the work we've been doing around Panther payments. And we have a ton of firms that are gaining value and actually getting paid 70% faster on average from using our built-in payments processing, our Panther payment solution. Really shortening that billing cycle, having it embedded directly within your practice management system is key. And we're seeing real results when we compare firms that utilize Panther payments, which ones that are using either nothing or some external solution. And recently we've added the ability to, when you're sending an invoice out to your client, you can now specify which bank account you'd like those funds to be deposited into once you receive payment. So it can be flexible, any of your operating accounts, any of your trust accounts. So if you're sending out a retainer invoice, you can specify that once that payment is received, we want it to go directly into the trust account. And it just ensures that it's going into the right account. I'm minimizing the amount of time I'm needed to transfer monies after they've been initially deposited, and greater visibility. So if I'm looking at any of my invoices, I can see which account that the payments have been immediately deposited into. So just streamlining that process in general.
Yeah, we've had so many firms, right, reach out and just say how this has really helped alleviate a lot of those pain points that they were maybe experiencing before this feature came out. I know I've spoken to a bunch of firms that just love the idea that they can just say, hey, here's your invoice. I want the funds directly deposited to XYZ account. And without even thinking about it or having to transfer anything later on, it's already doing that for them. So yeah, this has been a huge addition. Yeah. Exactly.
Definitely. Just saves that step, right? Just saves that additional time. And we've also improved, we could just back up a sec, just improved the payments application process. So for those that aren't using Panther payments yet, we've made that sign up and approval process even easier and faster to ensure that you can get it up and running as quickly as possible with embedded payments.
Exactly.
So timers, okay, so timers, we've had timers for years in PracticePanther. And really, as an attorney, you're probably a timer user or not. But if you're not using timers today, they are embedded directly within PracticePanther. It is allowing you to track your time as you are performing a specific task across one or more matters throughout the day. So you're basically kind of starting and stopping like a stopwatch feature that ensures you're tracking to time while you're actually performing that work. So you're not waiting till the end of the day, the end of the week to try to remember what it is that you've been doing. And now timers are embedded directly within contacts and within matters. So if I'm in a contact or matter reviewing invoices, activities, or payments, I can immediately start a timer for that selected contact or matter. I don't have to search for the contact or search for the matter. It immediately knows that I'm starting a timer for that individual entity. So I can track time. I can go off, be in my emails. I can be in a meeting. I can be on a document, and it's tracking time behind the scenes as I'm doing that work. And we've improved performance as well. So it seamlessly runs behind the scenes as I'm, again, fluctuating between different tasks and activities throughout the day. So really maximizing my billable time capture.
Yeah, and for those
Sam,
firms,
I think
I was gonna say, for those attorneys that are like in between their office and the courthouse and, tracking time on the computer, it also seamlessly works with the app. So if you're, at the office and you're running a timer because you're working on a case and you have to run to the courthouse for the same case and you track all this time, when you track it on the computer and get to the courthouse and open your app, that same timer is going to be running, seamlessly all together. So another really awesome feature that we've heard has really helped a lot of firms track the time and capture that time to be able to bill for in the end of the day.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. It just really makes sure you're not letting a little bit of time kind of slip through the cracks, that everything's accounted for.
Right.
So invoicing, really, we've added a number of enhancements, and invoicing is just one of those areas that we know is a critical process, obviously a critical use case for PracticePanther users. So we're always like conscious of adding additional capabilities to simplify that process, to have a better focus on efficiencies and productivity. For firms that are generating like batch invoices kind of on a monthly cycle, we've added some new navigation options. So if I'm going through that kind of monthly review process where I'm looking at my invoice or my pre-bill, looking at the details, I can very rapidly and seamlessly review those information, make the necessary edits, and move on to the next invoice. It just really just saves me time prior to finalizing and sending those invoices. To help accelerate. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Sam.
I was just going to say, a lot of office managers and billing coordinators hit us up all the time, thanking us for listening to them on this type of feedback and how it's kind of helped, like you're saying, improve the productivity when it comes to simplifying, their invoice process.
Like it seems like a small thing, just adding adding the ability to navigate, but it is huge when you're reviewing 20, 30, 50, 100 invoices on a monthly basis.
Exactly. Yep.
To help accelerate payments, we've had invoice reminders, and these are really advantageous from a getting paid perspective. So these are we have these out of the box with PracticePanther that will basically send email reminders when you have an outstanding invoice. So if an invoice has been sent from PracticePanther and remains outstanding, these emails will get sent directly to the client that the invoice was initially sent to. We've got 3 default templates, different varying language and messaging around them that can be tailored. So they can easily be tailored to your own specific messaging. But it basically is, obviously nudging the client that they owe for their outstanding invoice. And recently we've added the ability to turn these on by default. So brand new firms, when they start using PracticePanther, they're able to leverage these email reminders, either defaults, again, or tailored. This certainly can be disabled if you're not open to this type of thing, but we've seen huge results as a result of having this feature. Just having that extra notification as a nudge, as a prompt to getting paid, really helps from an overall payment cycle perspective. For firms that charge interest, you can now see interest that has accumulated from prior invoices kind of as a separate line item on the invoice itself. It just makes it really super clear how much interest is being carried over from previous invoices versus the current invoice. Just allows you to make that better decision and knowing where the interest is falling. So that was, again, a huge feedback item that we had for firms that do charge interest, which there are quite a number of our customers that do. So just another feedback item that we've incorporated into the product.
Right. And then like you mentioned, the templates piece, I love seeing like, firms with different practice areas having a template for each different practice area. And I've seen it go as far as they have different templates for different clients. Some clients want to see their invoices one way versus another. So just showing you again how flexible and customizable the program is for your type of practice. It's always really nice to see different firms being able to utilize it, no matter how different and unique those firms might be from each other. And then speaking of invoicing, if I have any leads billing people out there, you're going to love this stuff. So I knew nothing about leads billing 10 years ago. I know a lot about leads billing today, right? So some of the enhancements we've made is, for example, downloading multiple leads files to just get them more accessible to you, faster to you than ever before. Simple as like a lot of the batch functionality in our program, you're just clicking the left checkboxes, then clicking on downloading multiple leads, and boom, it's going to spit it out in a zip file to you with all those leads files that you checked off. So again, just showing you the customized options that we're providing. We're also giving you, knowing that there's so many programs out there that you can submit these leads invoices to, and those programs are ever changing, right? One day they want you to have the first name last and the last name first. The next day they want you to have the middle name first and the last name first, all over the place. We allow you now to really customize the way these leads invoices get spit out so you can really submit them in an easy way to the programs that you're having to upload them to. So just really another huge benefit to a law firm that has to submit leads invoicing is the ability to do these custom field attributes and things like that. And we've definitely added a lot of leads functionality to the billing system. And we're just really excited to continue to do that. And we're learning from you and different softwares. And we reach out to these other companies and things like that to make sure we're always on top of this. I truly believe, we're one of the best programs when it comes to leads invoicing, and it's proven to be true by the law firms we've been able to take on and help with their leads in billing improvements as well.
And we've been really quick to react to a lot of these. Like we hear, because the requirements are changing all the time, there's new e-billing vendors, new leads requirements. We know like it's honestly a nightmare to try to keep up with all of these changing requirements. So we are quick to react. So you'll like on a regular basis, you'll be seeing additions or changes to leads billing just so that we can help kind of automate this and streamline the process, because you could literally have one person that's just in charge of this. There's so much work to do here. So the more we can take off the law firm and put in PracticePanther is our focus.
Exactly. And on the next slide, speaking of quick to react, we've had this originating attorney report around for a little bit. And again, just hearing some of the feedback and going through our internal processes of how we can enhance these reports, we've been able to do a lot of that. And the biggest thing I would want to point out here, as you can see, is now there's a new apply date field that's available between payments and invoices. So this is really going to track the date when any payment is applied to an invoice. So pre-existing payments will have an apply date that's equal to their payment date, and they can be edited at any time by editing that payment. And the originating attorney report references these apply dates instead of the payment date. So something that we, looked into, found it to be crucial to implement, and quickly reacted, like Maria is saying, to be able to do so for this, transparent reporting on the originating attorney fees and whatnot.
And this is, like Sam, this is again another like area where we get a ton of feedback, just because there's so many varying requirements for each firm. They have different ways that they want to report on it, how they want the calculation to be, what percentage allocations they have. So this is also another sort of initiative area for us as we plan our roadmap for 2023, even more enhancements and options that we can kind of meet these different requirements across firms. So look for stuff coming in the new year around this area as well.
Yep, exactly. And in addition to that, on the next slide, we're going to talk a little bit about our new trust books integration. So we've really simplified the way you're going to be able to manage and track your trust accounting within PracticePanther by creating this integration. It really simplifies your legal accounting with this accounting program that's specifically designed for law firms. There's a lot of accounting programs out there, some that we integrate with that aren't legal specific. So we went out And we created this integration, so it's going to eliminate a lot of these accounting headaches that I know a lot of bookkeepers are dealing with in dealing with day-to-day, law firms accounting issues. And then, of course, you're going to be able to confidently manage your trust account and, very importantly, meet all the state bar rules. So that's a huge thing I also wanted to point out. We have a really amazing tool that's designed specifically for the legal accounting when it comes to reconciling and doing things like that. And this may or may not be planting a seed for the future. So I'll just leave it at that. You can open your mind and be imaginative. But again, just something we're really, really excited about to be working, through the accounting stuff with.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I'm super excited about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so tasks, utilizing tasks in PracticePanther, really the whole concept is to focus on like, how do we improve overall firm efficiencies? How do we improve productivity by automating the organization of like your to-dos, follow-up activities, things that you or other members of the firm are having to do on a daily basis, and keep track of that, of those tasks. So we've enhanced the task to introduce the ability to specify a date, a specific time of day for a task. So historically, like tasks were an all-day event, like a task was due on December 21st. So we've added the additional like specificity to say, okay, it's due on the 10 a.m. on December 21st. So if you have specific deadlines, tasks, responses that are needed by a specific date and time, you can now specify that. That's going to show up on your calendar by a specific date and time. So it's visually able to be flexible in that regard as well. So it's just to really give more flexibility, more granularity when you're defining tasks, when you're assigning them to other members of the firm, but really looking to make sure that if you do have a specific deadline, that we can be very, very granular, very specific for that.
Yeah. And then I also just want to point out, some people a lot of time get lost in the mix of, hey, tasks are internal and just for my firm. I want to remind everyone that these tasks can also be applied to the client, to your end user, right? So if you have a client who is really bad at making it to your meetings on time, spam them with text messages, emails, things to their client portal, notifications to their client portal, letting them know, hey, you have a meeting in an hour or tomorrow at X time. So again, just really a cool way to utilize these tasks, not just internally, but also externally with your end users.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, document templates. This is one of my favorite topics, is really talking about how do we help automate document generation for firms. And if you're not already using our document templates, really you should be. We have like a majority of firms using document templates, and I know some firms that have hundreds of templates that they've defined for their document creation. So it helps automate your documents by pre-filling contact and matter information that exists in PracticePanther. So it takes information you've already entered in PracticePanther and it pre-fills them or pre-populates them into your standard forms, whether they be engagement letters, fee arrangement schedules, other practice-specific forms and templates. Court forms can be utilized with this as well. They're typically Microsoft Word forms, but in a recent release, we've added greater form flexibility. So we've extended our template capability beyond Word documents, and now they're able to be done with spreadsheets. So Excel spreadsheets, CSV forms, and this was a direct feedback item. So we had many firms that had really elaborate forms that they created in Excel and wanted to leverage the same ability to like pull their client matter information from PracticePanther and pre-populate those forms. Again, saving them time, making them more productive, making them more efficient, and leveraging the information they're already entering in PracticePanther. So just again, a common request item, and just kind of extends now the flexibility of overall document templates.
Exactly. And also real quick, I just want to add to that flexibility piece that you're mentioning. I've seen firms utilize this now, and it's really only come out pretty recently, but they're, getting even deeper into the reporting that they might be used to when using an antiquated program that's not as modern as PracticePanther. So they're filling out a document, and then that stuff is going right into the Excel sheet, and they're doing what they want with that Excel sheet right afterwards. So just another thing that I've heard when it comes to feedback from this improvement we've made.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
And so this we're really just the tip of the iceberg, kind of what we went through. We're trying to look at what are some of the top things, especially as we try to address challenges around helping you grow your firms. But we've had a ton of releases throughout 2022 and certainly didn't get across all of the items. But as we head into 2023, we have a really aggressive roadmap ahead of us. We're planning more exciting improvements and additions to PracticePanther. And again, largely based on feedback from our customers. Enhancements that again will help look at some of those manual things you're doing, help automate those processes, help improve efficiencies and productivity so that you can really focus on how do you grow your law firm? How do you grow your business? How do you spend more time doing billable work? And just a sneak peek on some of the things that we are planning, certainly, again, invoicing and leads, that remains a critical process that will be consistently adding new capabilities, certainly around payments again. We know many firms use other solutions that are integrated with PracticePanther. So how do we improve those integrations? Sam talked about some eSignature enhancements that we're going to have as well. So we're going to continue to add value and really just continue to help address these ongoing challenges that firms have, and then definitely listen to our customers and see how we can add more capabilities.
Yeah, really excited for a lot of this stuff.
For sure, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for us, for our firms, just to hear more from our customers on how we can do better. So we're going to move into a question and answer period. We're going to just see what questions that have been posted already. If you haven't, please feel free to post questions in the Q&A. And again, we've got Sam's email address here. So after the fact, if we have more questions, feel free to reach out directly.
Yeah, definitely.
What do we have so far?
You here do you have any features planned to help us manage contacts or affiliate with multiple companies? It is difficult to identify which contact to use. We have 3 or more copies of the same person added to multiple company contacts. So first of all, I love this question because it shows you know the program and you're utilizing the different aspects that's important to you. Secondly, I'll say that this isn't something that's going to be out tomorrow, but it is something that we've been heavily investigating because there is demand for it. There is feedback on this. So it is something that's on our roadmap and that we're going to be taking a look at and trying to, accomplish what we need to help you with this specific feature. And we'll definitely be reaching out to, the product team and my team. We definitely want to hear kind of your feedback on that. And we'll definitely reach out to see if you can help us improve that by the way you're utilizing it. So I appreciate that question.
Yeah, another one, can I change the form I receive money? Example, I no longer want to accept credit card payments, only ACH payments. So this is something that we're definitely evaluating. One of the things that's kind of related to credit card payments is the ability to sort of pass along the surcharges for credit card payments to the your end client. So this is actually dependent on what state you're in. Some states allow it. I think most states allow it now for the ability to pass those surcharges onto that. But that's something that we're also looking at from a roadmap perspective, is how do we give you the flexibility to say whether you want to actually pass those charges directly on. And as part of that evaluation, we'll also look at do we offer more options around the ability to accept ACH versus credit card and or type options.
Exactly. So yeah, it looks like we got a lot of questions from current users, from potentially future users. So I'm going to take this one. Can you migrate from other software, from other programs, and how much does that cost? So the easy answer is yes. We do data migration transfers all the time. And the beauty behind that is it's included in your business plan subscription price. So really easy. Yes, we do them as part of the business plan, and we'd be happy to take a look at the data and work with you on getting that imported into PracticePanther once you become active.
There's also another one I'll just stay on the payments theme. There's another one around if there's an additional cost for signing up for Panther payments. So there's no cost to sign up. I talked about the surcharges. So there is a small processing fee for each credit card transaction. But unlike other processors, we don't have any sort of hidden costs or extra costs related to that, like for specialty cards. So we're quite transparent on what the charge is. So no fee to sign up, and then basically the fee to accept payments. And again, from a credit card perspective, we're looking to add flexibility for you to be able to pass those on as well.
Yeah. I see two here, different questions, but the same answer. So I'll go with these two. Is there a limit to how many e-signatures we can request in our account? And how many payment plans can we have running at the same time? The answer is unlimited to both of them. So that's two birds with one stone, if you want to take it that way. Unlimited.
Nice.
What else we got here? I see. Will your tutorial show us how to use templates to integrate information into Excel? Yes, we update these tutorials. If you can't find it or having any issues, like always, please feel free to reach out. We'd be more than happy to help you. Email me directly. My email's there, and I'll get a video over to you to show you how to do that. So definitely.
Yeah,
just on
the tutorials, we have one around just general training with PracticePanther if we offer training. So we do offer unlimited training, free training as part of your as part of our business plan subscription. You can get 30 minutes, you can get a 60-minute training spots where we speak with you individually, kind of take you through the program. And if you have new people joining the firm, that they're available as well to get that training. So that's just all included within the subscription.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe one or two more I think we have time for, Marie. Let's go through these.
Let's see.
This one's, I guess, up my alley. How much does it cost? So this really depends on your needs. And obviously we'd be happy to discuss it. And, we take a very consultative approach to this. We want to make sure you're getting what you need out of the program. But the answer is it could be anywhere from $49 a month to $99 a month per user. But keep in mind, if you pay for the year in advance, you save $10 per month per user on any of those plans. So again, feel free to reach out to the email that you see on the screen here. Give us a call, ask for Sam. I'd be more than happy to, help answer a lot of those pricing questions as well.
Yeah, I think that's probably all the time we've got for today. If there's other questions that you guys posted, we will follow up separately with answers to those. We will be sending a recording of this webinar to everyone by email. So if you did miss it or had to drop, you'll have that available to rewatch it or re-listen to. But we really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for attending. We really loved sharing what we have for you. And as Sam said, please reach out if you're like a firm looking in PracticePanther, your existing firm. We'd love to talk to you. So please reach out and we can connect.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everybody. And Marie, it's always a pleasure hanging out with you. So we'll talk soon.
For sure.
All right.
Thanks. Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays.